just because my stuff, as I, been looking over it, eh, it doesn't look all that good.
Well, let's look, and that's where we can see, like where we need to put our focus and attention, right?
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, let me see here. Um, all right. Um, right, so let's look at all your so let's say, let's look at the last couple of months that you and I have been working together. Has it been 2 months yet? I don't remember.
Um, just right around almost. I
Okay.
don't think it's been quite a whole 2 months.
Okay. All right.
I have to go look.
Okay. So yeah. So let's just look at the last couple of months, um, and yeah. How many deals have you gotten a contract since then?
Have I got under contract since then?
Mhm.
Um, okay. I've put, let's see, I put Frio under contract. I put what else did I put under contract? Um oh, I put the other one under contract. The terminated that. I put
Yeah. Don't worry about the termination one just yet. I'm just looking at contracts for now.
the ones that I like had sold or
No, no, just the ones that you got in the contract.
that I got under contract. Okay. Uh, Frio, that one.
Yeah, I just need a number.
Um, I Now, is this strictly from like MLS
No,
offers?
it doesn't matter. Just total from the last 2 months.
Okay. Um, I had three, four. Um, okay. Um, I want to say I had five under contract.
Okay. All right. And then how many of them? Yeah, how many of them close? How many of them cancel? And how many of them uh, pending?
Oh, wait, I'm missing some. All right. So now I just got one under contract now. So now, um, here's two more. So seven. I have seven. So now, all right, I closed one. I have two pending now, and then I have a so seven, close one, two, and I have four. I guess that didn't go through.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how accurate that is. I need to.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, at least that gives us something to work with. Okay.
Right. Okay.
All right. So the one that was closed, that was an MOS deal, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, the two that are pending, what deals are they coming from?
So my girlfriend, she's like a wholesaler as well. Um, and she brought these deals from the foreclosure list service that she markets to, and so they came from a foreclosures, pre-foreclosure.
Okay. All right. Both of those pending ones, right?
They are. I think I told you about them last time we talked.
Okay. The terminated, where did they come from?
The terminated came from. I want to say two came from the MLS, and then one of them it was from my own marketing. I had a bird dog bring me a lead, and then that's the one where I had the good deal, and then the buyer backed out. So That was a bird dog, and then the other one um, came from, I want to say, a referral as well, a bird dog referral. So 2 bird dog leads.
Okay. All right. So was the one that was closed and the buyer backed out, was that the only one that you got that close to closing on the deal? And then like the other ones they die early, or what's going on there?
Um, so the other one is price was too. I couldn't get my investor to come down lower, so it was priced too high. Didn't get any bites when I blasted it out, um, and that's basically what happened with that one. And then the other MLS lead was from a buyer. I guess I didn't have a good enough price. I had buyers say they wanted to come in at 185. When I got it to 185, still nobody touched it. It was in the higher price point home, so a lot of guys were, kind of sketchy about that. I like to look at some of them real quickly. Let's see. Um, I can't. All right. So, but yeah. So for the most part, the one from the MLS, it was 2. I guess I didn't get it priced right, and my bird dog, one buyer backed out. The other one was where I couldn't get the investor down lower. So uh, that's pretty much what happened with those.
All right. All right. Um, okay. All right. And then, okay, so that's, yeah, so we'll look there. And then your buyers, so besides, I know you were working with New Western, uh, how have your buyer leads been going? How have they been responding to you when you send out these deals?
Um, haven't got a lot of response from my buyers my new buyers. They come out or they may respond to an email, but only a few of them. I got roughly over 150 from, working with the VA and getting new buyers. But when I send out email blasts, um, granted, I haven't had a lot of deals, but when I send out email blasts, um, you know, they don't respond that well like I would imagine to some of the deals. And perhaps they are priced high, and that's why, but um, just not a great response from some of those new buyers that I've got.
Okay. All right. Um, the what like so what are the price ranges for some of these? Um,
So that I can tell you that one MLS deal was ARV roughly about 125. Um, I sold it for 62.5 to New Western, and then they turned around and sold it for 72, I think.
okay. All right. Um, okay. And then
And then my terminated deals or the pending deals, um, those are I think those are priced right. I'll sell those, but their price range is right under. Well, one of them is roughly about 250 ARV, and the other one is about 150 ARV.
okay. All right.
Okay, and then that one of those was it was ARV was like 350 on the MLS one that expired. I terminated, and what was the other MLS deal I had um, that I terminated? I can't remember at the time. I can go to the let me think about that, come back, and I'll go
Okay.
to the Bird Dogs. The one where the buyer backed out was it was roughly about 350 ARV as well. And then the other one where it was priced too high, the ARV was like 160, 165. And I had it under contract for 105.
Did it need a lot of repairs or no?
It did need some repair. The plumbing under the property might need to be looked at. It needed foundation work. It needed to be completely updated. Um, One of the investor came in, and I guess he wholesaled it because he came in and tore up the carpets and knocked out the bathroom, and so it was a pretty good property. I thought it was a good price at 105, and so I contracted it, and I thought I could get it sold for 110, but nobody. I mean, I didn't get one email from that blast. Um, and neither on when I put it in one of the investor groups on Facebook. So yeah, so um, it needed some work. Oh, it needed the AC. So yeah, it needed some work, uh, but nothing that I don't think any landlord would be happy to take on. I thought it would have been like a great rental for those guys who are interested in being landlords.
Right. Okay. And what's going on with the deal now?
I terminated it. I
Oh,
terminated like yesterday or the day before. I just told the guy, unfortunately, I had terminated. I need to send him $100 option money today.
okay. Um, gotcha. Okay. So you've terminated it. And you couldn't get him down on the price any, right?
Not to where I need so I, was in conversation with New Western and they was like, well, we needed roughly about 92, and then they were like, well, I don't know if it needs 20, 25 in repair. We might need it lower. So I knew the investor wasn't gonna go drop his price 20,000.
Right. But what do you think he's gonna do if he can't sell it?
He says that he's a investor and he'll rehab it himself.
Gotcha.
So that's what he says. He'll go ahead and start the rehab. He already has money in it, so he'll just this will be a job of his. He said he had like 5 jobs, so he was going to just sell this one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So okay. That's definitely a lead to follow up with him on.
Okay.
And, yeah. I mean, he might might change his mind. Who knows, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
okay. All right. That gives me an idea. Um,
And I could be missing some. I should have went through this. I went through everything else, but how many deals I contracted and got under contract. So, uh, I wish I had a better accurate description for you.
yeah. All right. No, that's. I mean, yeah, that's fine. What you have now is fine. All right. So okay. So new Western, new leads. Yeah. I mean, those landlord leads. They're gonna be on for the most part. They're gonna be more on the lower end property. So like this 160 is something that probably would appeal to them. It's 125, but like these 250, 350, that's probably not the type of leads that are ideal for those.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know?
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But even I told you about the subject to deal, and even when I blasted it out sub two, I got a lot of interest in that one, but none of the landlords understood the concept.
Yeah.
They were confused. What's this first lien? And I was trying to explain, hey, this is better than paying cash or getting hard money and trying to rent it out, and but for the most part, they didn't even respond like I imagined they would when I sent out a great subject to deal. And
Oh, you know who would be good, who would understand that well?
who?
Um, Guys that advertise their home for owner financing.
Mhm.
I think it would be perfect for those guys because then they already understand, how to do owner financing. So if they can get it as a subject to sell on owner financing, they already know how to do that.
Absolutely. So I need to have the VA now instead of the for rent ads and the ads that we were doing. To look for the owner finance ads.
Yeah. So they're gonna go into the for sale by owner section and do a search for owner financing or owner finance.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then let me see here. Yeah, and pre the you know I know you've been working with bird dogs for a while. Is pre foreclosures a new thing for you, or is that some have you gotten deals from there in the past?
So yeah, no, I've gotten deals from pre foreclosures in the past. That used to be like um, my go-to strategy when I was beginning because it was so. I mean, to me, those leads were easier to come by. I had the hustle mentality. I don't mind knocking on doors, sending out, leaving notes and trying to cold call pre foreclosure. So it's something that I did, but I got away from because the attitude and the mind frame of the pre foreclosure sellers, they'll stress you out. They're in such denial, and they're so crazy that it'll drive you insane. So I kind of got away from it for a while. I started doing other ways of marketing, but no, pre foreclosure is something that I've done for since the beginning. I have a lot of marketing material for pre foreclosures and things like that. And so here recently, like I said, my girlfriend, she's a wholesaler as well. And that was her thing. She wholesaled in Tyler, Texas, and then she recently moved up to Dallas, and so I gave her access to TLO and Dallas, and she just started, using marketing to some of those pre foreclosures, and here recently, the two pending deals that I have now are from her, basically marketing to those pre foreclosures.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Um, okay. So, all right. We're gonna focus. I think that your, I think your deal source are concerned. I don't think there's anything we need to do there. I think that you can continue to do what you're currently doing there.
Mhm.
I think what we need to do is looking at expanding your buyers list, so that way you have buyers for all these different types of properties.
Yeah, and one thing I want to speak about on the MLS. It seemed early on, I guess maybe beginner's luck. I was having some, uh, 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 I was having luck, but here recently, um, I've been having both VAs send offers, and I send offers, and hadn't had any that many counters, that many agents wanting to work with us. So that was a concern of mine because I didn't know if it's just the market
Right.
or
Are you
what.
guys well? So number one, because the MOS, when you have when the property is, especially if it's under $150,000 list price, you're gonna get a lot more response than when you go above the 150.
I see.
Like, you know, and so I don't know if the way that you're doing it, like now, like in the beginning, for example, you know, it was the lower end properties, and now you're at the high end properties, so you're not get as many response.
Perhaps, yeah, because what I've done, I've added counties, and I may should take those counties away, but I have surrounding counties like Rockwall and Collin County where their median sale price is like 250, 300, and so when I do the MLS offer formula, um, the lowest houses that they have start at like 140, 150.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so it already starts right there. So it's not really, like you say, those type of sellers that we were probably looking for unless they are in a situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that, yeah, definitely like go after counties that have more, you know, rental property type pricing.
Okay.
Because what happens on the low end? I mean, in you know, in your market, that's probably means properties that are under 200,000. Uh, yeah, I bet. Do you have an idea, like if a property is $150,000, how much it can rent for versus a $200,000 property?
If it's 150, how much could it rent for versus a $200,000 property?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, I think, but I may be wrong. I can't say this is accurate, but from what I think may be true, $150,000 property would roughly rent for about 1,500 down here. It's about a dollar, almost a dollar square foot, something like that.
Mhm.
I think $150,000 home would roughly rent for maybe a little under that, 12 to 13, 1,400, right between I say 12 to 1,500.
Okay.
And then a $200,000 home would rent for between 15 and 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something like that.
Okay. So you're probably so yeah, so you might be similar to here in Houston. Yeah, like for us, you know, ideally the best rental properties for us are the ones that are under 130,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then we can get at least a 1% multiple, you know, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it's similar to that. Yeah, if I think about it, yeah, it is very similar to that.
Okay. So yeah, so yeah, so you know, I would, yeah, so focus, focus on counties that have, you know, more properties that are under 200, probably going to get you more response than when you go to counties that are above that.
I see. Okay. All right.
Um, okay. And then how are your VAs doing it such that they're not submitting to the same offer at the same time?
Um, that I don't know. I have them work different counties at different times.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, when one finishes one county, um, then uh, I don't know how we keep them from intermixing. So I've done so. I think I've done good so far, but I think eventually, they send a lot of offers, so um, we'll probably mix here pretty soon.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay that like for example, let's say, you know, this week they let's say for example, this week VA number one makes offer for Dallas County and
Mhm.
VA number two makes offer for Tarrant County. And then next week they're finished with the counties that they have, and then VA number one now makes offer for Tarrant County, and VA number two makes offer for Dallas County.
I see. Hmm.
Right? Like, you know, and so that's fine. You know, if something like that happens, as long as you're avoiding where they're making, to the same people in the same week.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's a different week already, then you're fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all right, yeah, and then if they're both making offers, if they're both making offers on the same county, then you just have one that start from, the cheapest property to the most expensive, and then the other one starts from the most expensive to the cheapest, and then when they meet each other in the middle is when they, um, when they can stop, depending on how many properties you have in that county.
I see. I see. Okay. Okay.
And then yeah, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much, about the slow respond. When, yeah, like there's certain counties that you don't get much leads from them.
Yeah, I
Uh,
recognize that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, it's
I
yeah,
don't.
I
I
don't
don't.
I don't
You
really know what determines it, like what makes a county. So I'll give you an example. Here in Houston, Galveston County is one of our hot markets right now.
okay. Okay.
But but when we make offers, we actually get quite a number of um, counters from Galveston County, which was a county that I expect that won't get as many counters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure exactly, um, how the counties respond yet, but yeah, I think it's just you just got to make the offers and then wait to see,
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have one up here, Rockwall County. Um, and their price point starts at like 150. Like I think that's the one. And I don't get any response. All the realtors call me back and they're laughing on the phone, like, "Ha, is this a real offer? No seller in this market is going to accept 70,000 lower." And maybe laugh. They call laughing on the phone.
Yeah. So if you want just to test it, you can increase your offer amount, and and so instead of doing the 60, 65, 70, you can try doing the 65, 70, 75,
Okay.
and see if you get better, because because if that's true, if that was true, then maybe the investors are also willing to pay more money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we
Okay.
might not need as much of a discount in some of those counties to make it work.
I see. I see. Okay. Okay. Now, let me tell you this. I have told one of my VAs, the one that talks on the phone the most,
Hmm.
she talks to the realtors, but I don't think she talks. I don't think she talks as much as I expected. So I'm paying her, I think, more than what I probably should. But anyway, um, when I showed her how to run comps. And when you get a counter, I said, okay, determine ARV, and then our max offer is 70% of whatever the ARV is.
Hmm.
Is that a good formula, or should I kind of maybe cultivate that a little, change it?
Yeah, um, I don't do it straight 70% like that. I gauge, all right, who do I think that might buy this, and what price that I can make money on.
I
Um,
see.
so yeah, like that's a good number for her to just gauge, like what's a hot lead, what's a warm lead.
Uh,
But it's important that you look at all of the warm leads. So like, let's say it doesn't meet the 70% formula, but it meets the 80% formula.
okay.
Then you need to look further into those.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Right? Yeah, it's going to take your VA a while to really get to adapt to what what's a good deal, what's not a good deal, and it's going to take you a while too.
Right.
As you get to know who your buyers are, what they're buying, how much they're buying, and like, I mean, I uncover new buyers all the time that I was like, wow, that's awesome. You buy at that amount, right? Let me send you more properties.
Right.
It's like, so you never know. And it's a continual process. I do use the 74% formula, but only for the purpose of identifying, is it warm or is it hot?
I see.
So it's not like straight, like, we're not going to look anything, we're not going to look at anything if it's not at least 70%.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, or 70% of ARV, like you said. Well, that depends on how much repairs, right? Because I mean, 70% of list price is different from 70% of ARV, because the list price a lot of time is already adjusted for the repairs. Versus 70% of ARV is not adjusted yet, and so yeah, you can counter that, as long as you think that you can, that you have a buyer that would be willing to pay that.
I see. Now, I've had opportunities on other deals, but I just didn't go through with them. Excuse me. Okay, thanks. But yeah, I've had opportunities on other deals, and I didn't go through with them because I didn't think I'd be able to bring a buyer to those deals. I have a small sect or area of Dallas that's experiencing gentrification, and they had the city doing all of these things to bring this area up. But at the current moment, the area is not up. It's still an old, kind of C class neighborhood. And so but around the area is already experienced that gentrification. So a lot of the homeowners are asking for prices that are higher than what the market really says it's worth. But it will be worth those prices in the next year or, year and a half.
Right.
But right now it's not. So I didn't want to even contract them and waste my money because, I end up terminated, because right now at the current time, a lot of these investors they want to fix it and flip it right now. They're not thinking about next year when all of the buildings are finished being constructed and things of that nature.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, that one will be a little bit trickier. However, it's going to be important for you to know the buyers in that market, because they'll be able to tell you, because they're on the ground rehabbing, flipping in those neighborhoods, that they're going to be able to gauge it and say, all right, you know what, the properties on the east side is starting to go up now. The prices are starting to push up, whatever the case might be. So they'll, so I would still run these properties by them. Keep in mind that once you say yes to a property, you still have a couple of days to send in your checks.
Right. Yeah.
So if you say yes to it, you haven't sent your check yet. You run it by some of these buyers, and if they say nah, it's too high, you can just say, I changed my mind, or my partner changed his mind. So we're not going to move forward with this contract.
Right.
You have up to 3 days to send in your option fee.
Right.
So if you need to cancel within that 3 days, no big deal.
Got it. And is that 3 business days? Say I contracted on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Do they count, or?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 3 business days.
Okay. All right. Got it.
I believe it's 3 business days. But it says so on the check contract. So
okay.
Hold on. Let me take a look real quick because I think I have a. Yeah. So if you know, on the Trek contract, if you go to where, um, okay, 3 days. Yeah, so it just says 3 days after effective date. So that means that um, it's three, not 3 business days. That's 3 calendar days.
Yeah, where is that at? I'm looking. Is that on?
On
par-
on paragraph 23, termination option.
okay, 23. Let me see that. 23. Oh, all right. It does say that within 3 days after the effective date of this contract.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, got it.
Yeah. So let me see. Yeah. I mean, you know, it says here that if you don't, if you don't pay within 3 days, then you don't have an option. But I've never had anybody complain that I cancel within that couple of days before.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, if someone really push it, and I have to send in an option money, I'll do that. But I've never had anyone complain about that before.
I see. Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me see what else here. All right. So I have another 20. I have to. I have a call at 5:30, so we're gonna end by 5:30.
Okay.
But the next part of our conversation, I want to focus in on your buyers list. Okay. So that way you can have a stronger buyers list.
All right.
So your homework for this week is to create what I call your VIP 100.
Okay, VIP 100.
Yeah. So these are the names and contact of the top 100 buyers in your market that you can think of.
Okay.
Okay. So for the most part, all of the guys that own a HomeFaster franchise would fall into this category.
Okay.
Big names that you see like big state home buyers would fall into this category. If you see like they running AdWords ads, they would fall into this category. If you're getting any guys that getting direct mail from someone, like whoever that that spent money into their business, whether they spent money buying the franchise, they spent money running Google ads, they spent money on direct mail, they go into this list.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it doesn't matter if they're rehabbers or they're contractor, they're flippers. It doesn't matter if they're wholesaler. Then you're just you're just gonna wholesale. Like co-wholesale with them or something. If you can't find a buyer, right? Like what you did with New Western.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so like guys that have groups, like owners of groups.
Mm-hmm.
Those are also good to go on this list. Let me think here. Those neighborhoods that you were talking about, that either went through or going through the gentrification process. You want to drive those neighborhoods, look for builder signs, look for guys that are remodeling out there. Then they can go on this list as well, because then they'll be specifically for those types of neighborhoods.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. So what else? What other? So along that line, like what other sources do you think that would you can tap into that would have you have these type of buyers?
So let me just kind of freestyle some and it'll come to me. But like you said, owners of groups, um, guys who own the franchise, own home festival franchises, um, builders, rehabbers in those areas, perhaps um, maybe uh, uh, um, guys who have some type of uh, set up at some of the REI group vendors,
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
whatnot. You know, maybe big contracting companies who do like you got your finishing touches. Um, I guess big contractors maybe. Um, who else would be an ideal buyer? Maybe contact hard money guys.
Yeah. So yeah, I like what you said. You know, the big vendors, so the hard money, the contractors, foundation companies, they might not be buyers themselves, but they might have buyers.
Right, right. Hmm.
Yeah.
I guess how would I extract that information from them? What do I?
Oh, you just ask them.
Okay.
Yeah, because some of them, you know, like some hard money lenders, they'll if they're smart enough, they'll offer that as a service, you know, for free a lot of time because they want their clients to buy property so they can do the loan.
Oh, I see. Okay. Right. So yeah, hard money. Um, what else is something
Yeah.
that
And you know, if you want to really be friends with them, you can even say, you know, yeah, and what I'll do for you is whenever I do my email blast, I'll have your logo in the email blast, you know, sponsored by, you know, this hard money lender or this foundation company or whatever that is.
absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So yeah. So vendors that that specialize in working with investors, those are good.
Right. What about property management companies?
Yeah, they'll be good too. Especially if the property manager also own investment properties,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So where they're not just a property manager, but they yeah they're investors themselves.
Okay. Okay.
Those are some of my best buyers for sure.
Okay. Great. Great. Um, and I'm trying to think of some more. But yeah, I think we covered quite a few.
Yeah. So just start with those, okay? And get yourself a list of 100 of them.
All right. All right.
You
Got
know, and so you know, you try to, you know, use whatever sources that you need to be able to get their phone, get the email. And so whenever you have a property, you know, yeah, you know, whenever you have a property that um yeah, you know, that you see is a decent deal, you know, I would try your best to contact, you know, each one of them, so that way, even if they're not interested in that property, it opens up the conversation for you to ask, well, what type of properties are you looking for?
right.
What else are you looking for? You know, what price range? So that way you can get deeper into, and it's very important for you to find out like what their exit strategy is,
Okay.
right? So if you know, if anytime you hear that their exit strategy includes owner financing, those are really good buyers for you because they tend to be willing to pay more.
Okay.
You know, if yeah, so if they do owner financing, that's a plus plus. If they do landlording, that's a plus. You know, if they just do you know, fix and flip, then that's just normal. um, yeah, you kind of grade them accordingly, so that way, you know, do they go on your fave five, like your top five buyers that you contact every time? Do they go on your fave 10 kind of thing?
I see. I see. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, and then you're also gonna make it a practice where anytime that you have a property that you can't get sold, you're just gonna go down this VIP 100 list, and you're just gonna call every one of them to see if they might have a buyer for you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You know, yeah, that's, I mean, it's a, it's when the deal is a little bit thinner, that's a good way to to contact these guys without them feeling like you're not sending them good deals.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you're just asking them if they might have a buyer for it.
I see. Mm-hmm.
If they can make money on it, they don't mind that it's not a, it's not a dirt cheap deal, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I would tell them, it's like, hey, this is how much I'm asking for it. However, for you, I'll sell it to you for this price, and you can mark it up and sell it for however much you want to sell it for.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, I would have you focus on that, and um, uh, yeah, I think that's gonna open up a lot of doors for you, in terms of having more people to market to sell to.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and remember, this is your VIP 100, so don't put no newbies in there.
Right. Right. Yeah, no newbies. I'm really, I'm, I'm through with newbies and your, you know, everyday investors, your rehabbers that, uh, because they're always battling with you on the price and, they're trying to lowball you. And so I'm looking for maybe more the investors like New Western has, your landlord and your guys who just want to kind of dump their money into some properties.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you want those type, you would, yeah, you would have. I mean, they, they put out tons of signs,
yeah, they do.
things like that to attract. I mean, they do have newbie people, but they attract a lot of people that have jobs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so this is a side thing for them, and so it's yeah, they are, yeah, they're good buyers, for sure. But if you want those buyers, you're gonna have to kind of think through. Well, you know what? Um, I didn't think about this, but find out, like, for example, that deal that you sold to them.
Uh-huh.
Look on the HUD. Did they happen to give you a copy of the HUD?
Yeah, I do have a copy. Hold on one second. Let's see here. Should be, uh, matter of fact, where is it? All right. All right. So what is this? This is, what property is this? Edgemont. Oh, that's Mesquite. Okay. All right. Well, all right. So now here's one that I saw to New Western in Mesquite. I think this is right before me and you started working together.
What
Uh,
county is it in?
it's in Dallas County.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I have the hood here in front of me. Where would I look for? Let's see here.
So you sold to them and they sold to the next buyer, right?
Right.
Okay. What's the company name that they used to buy it from you?
That they used to buy it from me. Let's see. Texas Mutual LLC. Texan with an N. Excuse me.
Okay. All right. So I'm doing the courthouse search real quick to see. Okay, so they have 12 pages that they were. Uh, that they bought. So now let me see how many they have that they were the grantor instead. Okay. It's my device. All right. So this is a little bit more work, but if you do, let's go to, oh, let's go to file date. Let me sort by file date real quick. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to research for who are all the buyers that bought properties from them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so you can use the, you can use your TOO and see if you can find phone numbers for them, and add them to your buyers list. Okay. When did you sell that property to them?
This was, let's see, what is the date? Where is the date at? This was July 3rd, 2017.
Okay. All right. And do you remember the name of the subdivision?
Yes, Edgemont Park.
Okay. All right. Let me go see. Let's see if we can find it.
Oh, that'll be awesome. All right.
Right here, Edgemont Park.
Edgemont Park installment. What is that? Installment. Where did you see it?
Hold on. It's on the other page, but I'm gonna come right back to it. Let me look at this real quick here. Okay. Yeah. So I think we found it. So
I see it. I just saw it.
yeah.
Edgemont 6 installment. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Park 6, Lot 10, Block A. Yeah, that's it right there. Dallas Home Option Investment.
Yep.
That's who sold it to.
So let's see who they are. Looks like they're unconnected investors. So let's see. Joe Abano. Okay, so this is one way to connect with them. Let me go see corporate wiki. Yeah. So definitely Joseph Abano is related. His wife Annette Abano. Look, they have their own business. You see that?
Yeah.
They're making money elsewhere and they're trying to get into real estate.
Wow.
You see the manager, the property. That might be they started this back 2008. So there you have it.
Wow.
So I mean, look at all these buyers that just bought from them.
Right. And
very recently.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it.
So I'll add that to the homework as well.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
That was my evil laugh if you didn't hear that earlier. All right, great.
So yeah, I think you got enough homework to do for this week. So we'll talk again next week.
Okay.
Anything in between, anything that comes up in between, shoot me a text and we'll go from there. Okay.
All right, great. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, buddy. All right, bye.